It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Bad Seed Brewing Company in Denmark. Loving their beers at the moment. They're really, really good. This is a can of their Nemesis. It's an English style brown ale, described as smooth and soothing. It's in a 440 milliliter can, coming in at 4.5% ABV. There's a look at the can. So this brewery's from Denmark. You've probably seen a lot of reviews from this brewery recently. It's because, well, two reasons. They were kind enough to send me a big range of their beer. There's three reasons, actually. The second reason is that they brew excellent beer. Their beer is probably, for me, in terms of a variation of style, what they're brewing, and the quality of what they're brewing, for me, they're probably the best brewery out of Denmark. They are absolutely killing it. And the third reason, my good friend Peter, the Master of Hoppits, which we'll talk about in a moment, he is the head brewer of this brewery. So let's get Nemesis out into a glass and see what we get. There's a slight etching on the bottom of this glass, so it might cause the beer to create maybe an overinflated head. Maybe a little bit more of an exaggerated head than what you would get if I didn't use a glass with the etching in the bottom. Some people call them widgets. But look at this. Look at this for a beer. We got a one finger light tan coloured head, I'm going to say. Quite light to look at. But for a brown ale, wow. It's almost looking like a stout. From where I'm looking at it in this room, it's definitely a brown ale. I'm not sure how the camera's picking it up though, because you can almost see, like in the corner here, you got this little red hue. It's definitely, well, it's definitely not looking like a mild. It's definitely looking like a brown ale. It's just, it's very close to looking like a stout. In fact, I've poured beers before now that have said stout on the can or the bottle, and they've looked like this. So very, very, very dark for a brown ale. But that means, well, that just means terrific stuff for me, because I love my roasted malt in a beer. And this looks like it's got quite a bit of roasted malt in there. Lots of different kind of darker malts to create this brown ale. It looks good. Not much in the way of sediment so far, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. We'll pour the rest of the can when we get into it. There's slow moving carbonation rolling up the side of the glass. Let's get the aroma. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I think brown ale is probably the most underrated style in the world. Lots more people should talk about brown ales. Really nutty and biscuity in the aroma. Nutty, bready, biscuity. It smells absolutely fantastic. There's a little bit of roasted malt in there, which is giving off flavours of a little bit of coffee, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of dark chocolate. This smells absolutely fantastic. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, just incredible, just incredible. Stone the Crows, what a beer. It is just fantastic, the layers of flavour. layer after layer after layer of flavour that's just enveloping the palate. Just beautiful, creamy, rich mouthfeel. When I get really good beers like this, it's an absolute joy to stand here in this bar and review beers, especially when they're like this, because it just feels like you're flicking the camera on and you're just having fun. And that's the best review. That's the best review, when you're standing here and you feel like you're having lots, well, you're having lots and lots of fun reviewing fantastic beer. This is incredible. Look at it. Look at the beers I rocket back and forth. Now I've drunk some. Look at that tight carbonation chasing the head up the glass. I'm going to say it, I've probably said this a million times before, but an old brewer once told me, the smaller the bubble, the better the beer. And I've never, in the brewing industry, I've never heard a better saying. From a brewmaster, never heard a better saying. I remember that sticking with me back in 2011. 12 years ago. I was at Wells and Young's Brewery, and Jim Robinson, master brewer at Wells and Young's at the time, he's retired now, but I remember having a beer with him. It might have been on camera, actually. I remember having a beer with him, and he was saying, rocking it, and he was looking at the beer like, you know, he'd been in the industry for 40 years type of thing, 40, 50 years. And he was still doing, you know, loving his beer at this stage. And I remember him saying quite clearly, and I remember sticking in my mind, the smaller the bubble, the better the beer. And it's so true. It's so true. I've never had a bad beer with small bubbles. Look at it. Look at the quality of this beer. The quality is incredible. The mouthfeel for a 4.5% ABV beer. The mouthfeel is so creamy and rich and delightful and lovely. But then there's chocolate. A touch of chocolate from the roasted malt. A little touch of coffee. There's nutty, biscuity, bready flavours coming through from the I'd say the kind of like the brown, I'm going to call them brown malts. Why not? It's a brown ale. You know, from the let's have a look, shall we? From the malts that they've added to the beer, you're getting nuttiness, biscuitiness. It's actually sometimes with bad seed, there's quite a big description, but on this one it's definitely only sold in Denmark, because there's not much English on the back of here at all. I can see that corn malt, rye malt, brew malt, dark malt maybe, rug malt. Yeah, lots of different malts, in the beer. And you can taste the lots of different malts in the beer by the layers of flavour. Layer after layer of flavour. And I promised I'd get to this stage. I will get to this stage. This beer has been brewed by master brewer, head brewer of Bad Seed Brewing Company, Peter the Master of Hoppets. My good friend, my real good friend, from Denmark. He started his channel. We both started our channels around the same time, late 2009, early 2010. Because there was only a few beer reviews in the world back then. We used to watch each other's videos. We're both busy people now. I'm pretty sure that, you know, when Peter can, he watches my videos, and when I can, I watch his videos type of thing. We're both busy people, but back then there was only a couple of us in the world doing beer reviews on YouTube, and he was one of them. And now he's gone on to become a head brewer of an actual really good brewery, and I couldn't be more proud for him. What a great guy. And producing beers like this This is just incredible. This beer is just incredible. Fantastic. Nutty, biscuity, bready, great mouthfeel. A little bit of coffee, chocolate, caramel. I haven't even mentioned the hop share. There's a nice little bit of bitterness on the back end between, and it's coming from the roasted malt and the hops in the beer. Terrific beer, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.